I think it's fair to assume that very, very, very few people ever would think that Chris Paul would team up with Stephen Curry in the Golden State Warriors. Well, it happened, and let's talk about it. What up, everybody? It's your boy STG Hoops with a brand new video. The love y'all been showing on the channel has been amazing. We are officially on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so if you have not subscribed, join Team STG, and let's have a lot of fun talking about NBA and just straight up vibing, man. Anyways, everybody, Chris Paul, Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr, beef with Draymond Green, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, it's all coming together. He is on the squad officially. And I've been just thinking about it back and forth. Is it going to work? Is it not going to work? How do we approach this? What's going to happen? What's he going to bring to the table? And you know what I'm trying to say, bro? I recently just got finished watching one of the best documentaries I've watched for NBA. And that's underrated. And that's the whole Stephen Curry documentary. And I would recommend anybody to watch that. And it really just motivated me to get myself to the gym and, you know, shoot around and all that good stuff. But, man, the one thing that I honestly think is going to happen with Chris Paul joining the squad is we're going to see Stephen Curry get unlocked. Let me explain why. When Stephen Curry played in, college with Davidson, many people may be shocked to know that he wasn't, the Curry that we see today in regards to him being the primary point guard, ball handler, etc. A lot of plays were meant for him to kind of take over that shooting guard position because they had that point guard, for that squad. And Curry excelled in that immensely. Obviously, we look at Stephen Curry now and we just see him just straight up being, one of the best point guards in the game and just doing whatever he wants, whenever he wants. And, we respect it, we love it, we see it. But yeah, man, Stephen Curry actually has some shooting guard experience. It's kind of like his early, beginnings. He ended up being a point guard his junior year at Davidson, but he had those 2 years of being a prolific shooting guard. Now, why do I think this is huge for him in regards to Chris Paul joining is that Stephen Curry, obviously, while being very comfortable with the ball, is also very comfortable playing off the ball. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, I don't think Chris Paul's going to start. He's obviously going to come off the bench. There may be some games and exceptions where he starts. We'll see what happens. Maybe Klay Thompson goes to the 3, Curry at the 2, Paul at the 1. We'll kind of have to see what, is devised by Steve Kerr. But I do know that even prior to Chris Paul joining over the past 10 years, there are a plethora, and there have been a plethora of plays designed for Stephen Curry outside of him having the ball. We all watched it. If you watched NBA, you know that Curry doesn't need the ball to be effective. How many times have we seen curls of multiple screens being set for Curry, runs around like crazy, tires the defender out, boom, defender gets slammed into Looney, boom, defender then gets slammed into Draymond Green, Curry curls right in, splash right in your face. We've seen that 100,000 times, and the same thing can be said with Klay Thompson, right? So Curry is no novice when it comes to playing off the ball. Now imagine when you have arguably one of the greatest passing point guards of all time in the NBA, 100% the greatest passing point guard in the NBA today, right? Regardless of age, Chris Paul obviously is not, 21 years old anymore, right? He obviously has age, 37, 38 years old, but bro, my man can still pass that rock. You can pass that rock at 50. Right? With the IQ and prowess that Chris Paul has developed over the years, playing with so many stars over the years, one thing we can say for certain is he did not or never really fell off in regards to passing that rock in the game. His rookie season, he averaged 8 assists a game, and it only pretty much was consistent, if not higher, after that. His highest season of assists was in 2007, where he had averaged 11.6 assists. Pretty insane because he got 21 points a game as well that season. Nasty, and 2.7 steals. Ooh, what a season. But just 2 years ago, he had his second or third highest assist season with the Phoenix Suns at age 36. 10.8, almost 11 assists a game. And this past season, he averaged almost 9 assists a game. So my man can still pass the rock. He doesn't need to score to be effective. He averaged 14 points a game. You got to respect it. Love to see it. But He doesn't need to score only to be effective. He plays off his teammates. So I think, honestly, with how Steve Kerr is able to draw up plays and devise a plan of action, I'm not saying that, the Golden State Warriors are going to win the finals. They're going to try to. They have the experience. But what I am saying is Stephen Curry is about to be unlocked. Because when you look at a player like Jordan Poole, who the Warriors obviously had, and when he would come into the mix between Curry, Klay, and obviously himself, you already knew that a lot of the times he has the rock, he's going to shoot it, right? And he was told to do so because he's going to, we made a video on him. I think he's going to kill it in Washington, but he wanted to get his shots off, and rightfully so. He made a bunch of them, right? And he's a high volume scorer, and that's what he's going to do. That's what he's going to do with Washington. That's what he did with Golden State. But Chris Paul's different. He's passing first, pass first. And I think 3 things are really going to happen with the Golden State Warriors. Number 1, with Chris Paul arriving, I think 100% Stephen Curry is going to he's going to get a lot of good looks. It's going to be awesome to see. And if you are obviously a Warriors fan, you must be excited because, Curry really about to get some solid looks and plays designed for him. And you got the best passer, one of the best passers of all time, passing you those assists. Number 2, I think Klay Thompson is going to have a much better season. Look, Klay Thompson, bro, he makes some crazy shots, but when he's just by himself in an island, and especially when he's feeling it, he has already proven himself as a top 5 shooter of all time, right? Now you got one of the best assisters of all time, Chris Paul. I think Klay Thompson is going to have an underrated season too. He's going to be getting a lot of open looks because with all the magic Chris Paul does, even if Curry gets the ball and somehow there's people on him, somebody's going to get open. And that's going to be Klay Thompson. So I think Klay Thompson is going to be unlocked as well. And then lastly, I think the big man, whoever the big man is going to be for this squad in the Warriors, they're going to have a lot of success. I don't know if it's going to be Looney. I don't know if it's going to be Draymond Green. I don't know who it's going to be. They signed someone else, whatever. That man is going to get a lot of looks because he has done this prolifically with every big man he's played with. Most recently, he's obviously done this with DeAndre Ayton. I know a lot of people like to say good things, bad things about Ayton. He still was a 2010 player, bro. All to conclude that when Chris Paul has the ball in his hands, when he is playing, he obviously is looking to set up his teammates. And I think he's going to do that. With Chris Paul on the floor, Devin Booker emerged into a star. With Chris Paul on the floor, obviously, the teammates that he had in OKC started to emerge. You see it. You saw it. Chris Paul gets the best out of his teammates. That's what he does. He's a competitor. He's fierce. The one thing that you should be nervous about as a Warrior fan or an NBA fan is his health. How many playoff series do we see that he ends up having to miss games, hamstring injury, etc.? We don't wish that upon anybody, let alone Chris Paul. We want to see him compete. So that's the one drawback that we're scared of. And hopefully he can have a season in which he's fully healthy. But when he's on the court and the IQ he has, let's just be real. All we've been talking about this whole video is about him passing. When Chris Paul has to get a bucket for y'all in the clutch, when he has to make that mid-range jumper, you know what I'm trying to say? Who's going to stop that? I don't think I've ever seen Chris Paul miss one of those in-your-face mid-range jumpers. So I'm excited to see this season. But yeah, Curry about to be unlocked, and he already had a crazy season last year. Woo! Are we seeing a 30-plus point per game season? We'll find out, but Chris Paul is going to have a big thing to do with it. Hope y'all enjoy this video, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video. Like it if you haven't. Let me know in the comments down below.